And I just realized I've been on mute on Zoom this whole time. Oops, forgot to hit unmute. All right, there we go. That's funny. All right, we live and we learn, don't we, guys? Okay, so give me a thumbs up if you guys can see the Zoom screen. Yeah, can you see that? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Beautiful. Okay, and so I want to make sure it's sharing. Beautiful. And so we want to talk about today, and this is just a quick little master class. I'm not going to get super into detail, but if you're like, wow, I need to know more information, that's what we're here for. Our team is here to help you guys. And so today's conversation, if you are a teacher, an educator, or you work for the public school system or in some capacity similar to that, then this is going to apply to you. Or if you know someone who works in that space, then this is definitely going to apply to them as well. You're welcome to take notes. Definitely I'm going to cover some things pretty quickly, okay? And so let me control the slides on my computer as well as the laptop. Okay, so I want you guys to put yes in the chat, whether you're on Zoom or you are on YouTube or on TikTok. If you are a public school educator with a state pension and you're unsure of exactly what it's going to cover, okay? I want you to put yes in the chat. Or if you feel like, hey, retirement is coming faster than your plan is coming together, does that apply to you? You have a 403B somewhere, but honestly, you have no idea if it's working for you. Who can relate to that? Put a yes in the chat if you can relate to that. There's a gap between your pension and what you actually need to live on, especially with inflation, right? And then, of course, you want answers. You want simple answers. You want a clear path and a guide, especially if you are an educator or teacher. Okay, so if that is you, you are in the right place today. Okay, and so if you retire today, here's a question I have for you. What would your monthly check actually be? Do you know? Put it in the comments if you know. If you retired today, what would your monthly check actually be, your pension? And if you don't know, you can just say no, or if you're not willing to share, right? Drop yes if you know. Let's see. Let me scroll through the TikTok comments. Put yes in the chat if you know your pension number if you were to retire today. And for those on YouTube, same thing. Drop yes in the chat if you know what your number would be. And you know what my team and I have found is our teachers do not know, unfortunately, right? They don't know what they could retire with today. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's concern, there's fear, and especially with inflation. Okay. And so my goal is today that changes, that you walk away empowered so you can start running those numbers for yourself. And of course, if you would like extra support, our team is here to help you guys. Okay. So, all right. Now, let's talk about how to pinpoint and fill your pension gap. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. Right now, of course, this is going to be dependent on your particular state because it varies state to state. It also can vary based on your school district, but just roughly kind of some average idea to give you a sense, okay? So let's say that you've been a teacher for 25 years. Now, some areas actually are going to determine and calculate that year of service differently, okay? And so just pay attention to that as well. But let's just say for this example, 25 years of service. Well, based on your salary at age 60, right, you'd earn 54% of your salary with 25 years of service. Now, you would earn 68% of your salary at age 61 and a half if you had 30 years of service in this example, and then 75% of your salary at age 62. And that tends to be the sweet spot if you can really hold out that amount of time. Okay. And so feel free to take some notes real quick, guys. I'm going to go ahead and advance here to the next slide. Okay. Now this one, you're definitely going to want to take some notes, and apologies to those on TikTok. You guys are seeing the mirror image probably right now, but I put the link in the chat if you want to jump on the Zoom so you can see the slides properly. Let me go ahead and drop that in the chat again. Okay. All right. And so as you can see here on the screen, the pension gap is not a theory. This is facts. I mean, ask anyone who's retired, and it's going to show up day one when you retire. And it's important that you plan ahead as much as possible, right? My colleague who's on the Zoom right now, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Unfortunately, there's so many public school employees and teachers that, human nature, we leave it to the last minute, unfortunately, right? But here you do not want to leave this to the last minute. Okay. And that's why we put together Teacher Retirement Peace to give you guys peace of mind. So in this example, you can see this particular educator, their current salary is $58,000 a year. And so their monthly take home is about $4,833 a month. Okay. And so their pension at age 60, based on those calculations in this example, would only be $2,610 a month. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that would not be enough for me to live on this day and age, right? Who feels that way? Put me in the chat and here in TikTok or Zoom or YouTube. Put me in the chat if you could not live comfortably on $2,600 a month. And that may depend on where you live, right? But here where I live, that would not cut it for me. And that's what we call a gap. Okay, so this example, you can write this down. The monthly gap is $2,223 a month. And that's where our team comes in. We want to help you identify that gap and then figure out your options. Okay, so what does this mean? Most educators have no supplemental savings strategy to fill this gap. They're just putting it off and want to worry about it later, unfortunately. Some people end up getting a second or third job, right? Social Security is limited for many public employees, and it's sometimes less than $500 a month. So that's not going to cover that gap either. And there's some states out there where you don't even get the Social Security, right? Now, with the plan, this becomes your financial reality on day one. So it is very important that you sit down tonight or this weekend at least. But I don't know if your school has started yet. I know some districts have already. But if you're still on summer break on the tail end of it, this is the time to sit down and run those numbers for you and your future. And if you need support, that's what our team is for. Okay, you can definitely reach out for those on social media. If you go to my bio, there's a link. You're welcome to reach out to us if you'd like extra support. Okay, now let's talk about the top methods to enhance your pension with supplemental income streams. Okay, and so go ahead and write this down. Number one, we want to build the foundation. Obviously, that's going to be your state pension, right? This is guaranteed monthly income for life, but it's definitely, most times, it's not going to be enough on its own. Okay, so that's the foundation. And so my colleague here, she always says this too, right? We want to think like we're building a house, right? So that when you build a house, you start with the foundation. And then the next part is you might have different rooms, right? You've got the living room, the kitchen, and the bedrooms. So I want you to think of your 403B or your supplemental savings or your 457 as a different room, right? Same thing with your Social Security, right? And there's a lot of options out there that can be tax advantage. You guys know what tax advantage means? Means you get to save money on taxes. So I definitely recommend looking into tax advantage options. Now, I'm not an accountant. You want to make sure you speak to your tax professional as well. Now, after we get all the rooms in place, right, you have your 403B, your Social Security, your 457, right, your pension, that's the foundation. Now we want to protect the rooms, right? We want what? We want the roof, right? And so that's where life insurance comes into play, but not just any old life insurance. We really recommend, write this one down, life insurance with living benefits. Who knows what living benefits means? If you know it, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm just skimming through to see if anyone knows what does living benefits in regards to life insurance mean? Does anyone know what that is? No, I haven't seen any answers. So maybe most people don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But if you are going to purchase life insurance, you definitely write this one down. You definitely want to make sure you're getting life insurance that has living benefits, because as the name implies, you have benefits while you are alive. It's not just when you pass away and go to heaven, right? And so we recommend, that wasn't always customary back in the day with life insurance, but with the roof on your home, right? We're talking about your retirement plans. You definitely want to protect that. Okay. Now, again, this is going to be protection if, God forbid, the unexpected happens, right? I don't know if you guys have kids, you have a spouse, or, people that depend on you. This is very important to put in place. Okay. So that's the roof, right? And then, of course, any additional streams of income, maybe if you have a side hustle or you get a part-time job, those are other things you can consider, right? So this is part of the plan that we want to work on. Okay. Did that help you guys? Okay. We were talking about the top methods to enhance your pension for those that just joined late. Okay, now third is the insider tactics to forecast your pension benefits accurately. Okay, write this one down. Number one is your age factor. The multiplier your plan uses based on when you retire. Okay. Now, waiting even just 12 to 18 months might potentially unlock 10 to 14% more income for the rest of your life. Again, this is going to depend on your district, on your state. There's a lot of factors there, but generally speaking, okay, but your age factor plays a huge role. Number two, write this one down, is your years of service. Each year that you work grows your pension, right? So you want to cross the right milestone, and your final compensation calculation is going to shift in your favor. And so it's based on what your goals are. You know, we sit down with many teachers and we ask them, hey, when would you like to retire? Anyone know what most people say? Yesterday. Right? Okay, we can't do anything about that. But hey, if you want to expedite when you retire, then a proper plan is very important. Some people, they don't mind, right? Hey, another 5, 10 years, great. They've got all the time in the world. Okay, but that's going to be specific to you. And so if you decide to sit down with us and have a complimentary pension review, that's one of the questions we will definitely ask you. Okay. But I recommend you ask it to yourself as well. Number three, your highest salary. Your pension formula is built on your peak earning years. Advanced degrees, stipends, and promotions all count as well. Okay. And so you need to know what's going to move the needle in accelerating your benefits. All right. Or enhancing, maybe is a better word. Okay. All right. Now, this is super important, guys. All right. If you're driving, pull over. I want you to write this one down, because these are the 5 biggest mistakes that cost educators the most in retirement. Did you guys hear me? The 5 mistakes. So number 1, go ahead and write this down. Cashing out pension credits when changing districts. This is a mistake that could potentially cost $100,000 or more. Number 2, assuming an old 403B is still working for you, right? Sometimes accounts that are started years ago are earning less than 2%, right? And with inflation, that's not going to do anything. So if your account is potentially, 5, 10, 15, 20 years old, it's time to sit down and take a look at it. Okay. Number 3 is not knowing about supplemental pension funds that belong to you and could be rolled out at retirement. Okay, that happens a lot. Okay, and that's the whole point of a complimentary pension review, is we can actually uncover a lot of those things that you might not know about your retirement. And then number 4 is retiring too early without running the numbers, because even 18 months can mean 14% more lifetime income. Right? 18 months is not a long time in the grand scheme of things. So, I mean, 14% jump, that's a game changer. And then lastly, you do not, write this one down, guys, very, very dangerous. You do not want to ignore RMDs. What does that stand for? I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. RMD, write this one down. Required minimum distribution. Do not ignore required minimum distribution, because it's going to force you to pay taxes when most people cannot afford it, unfortunately. Okay, so these are super important things that we touch on during our reviews. And so you can obviously go through this on your own for now, but if you want extra support, that's what we're here for. Okay. Again, for those that just joined late, you can check out my bio for more information as well. Now, I want to know, put it in the chat, guys. Has this been valuable so far? Have you learned at least one thing, I hope? I mean, we've only been here about 10 minutes, I believe, right? So here we go. So has this been valuable? Say yes in the chat if you've learned something new about your pension that you didn't know before, or maybe something you were reminded of that maybe you forgot about because you don't think about this every day like we do, right? And so I'd love to know, put yes in the chat if this has been valuable to you so far. Okay. All right. We're almost done here, guys. Okay. And so you might have some questions. Most people do, and that's totally normal. Retirement it can be confusing. There's so many moving parts. Every school district, every school, every state has different rules. And so if you would like extra support and guidance, that is literally what we're here for. And because you guys work so hard as educators, teachers, public school employees, we offer this completely complimentary to you to do a retirement review. It takes 30 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. It's really just based on how many questions that you might have also, because we want to make sure we answer your questions. And so if you would like a complimentary pension review, please visit my bio if you're on TikTok or if you're on YouTube, and you can see that link and request an appointment. Now, I think, let me see if I can drop this in the chat for you guys. Okay. Now, if you can scan the QR code, I have two offers for you guys. Number one is you can join the wait list for a $1 ebook. This is the Teacher's Pension Playbook, right? I was actually going to offer it for $47 originally, but I said, you know what, let's be generous, right? Givers gain. So I decided, you know what, we'll go ahead and offer it for just $1. And so if you'd like to join the wait list for that ebook, you can find that in my bio as well. Go ahead to the links there. Or if you would like to go ahead and apply for your complimentary retirement review call, where we spend about 20 to 30 minutes, we sit down, we look over your pension, we look over your Social Security benefits, etc. Definitely you guys are welcome to book that with us. Okay, so let me go ahead and put those in the link, or in the chat rather. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, and I hope that you've learned something today in regards to your pension and retirement. So it said too many characters, so I have to do it one by one. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to go ahead and put the complimentary pension. There you go. Okay, so if you would like to apply for a complimentary pension review, I've just dropped that link in the chat. If you would like to join the wait list for the $1 ebook on the Teacher's Pension Playbook, that's the next link I'm going to put here. Okay. You can also just visit teacherretirementpeace.org, teacherretirementpeace.org, and you'll see all those links I'm sharing right now. Okay. So guys, we're pretty much done here. I hope I've helped you guys understand at least one new thing about your pension that you didn't know before. And hey, if you guys know any other teachers, public school employees that you feel could benefit from this content, please share my channel with them. Every single day I post an educational piece nugget every single day. I'm going to do another one of these master classes later in the month. So if you got some value today, please come back again. And I'd love to hear from you guys. So have a wonderful rest of your summer. If you guys have started your school year, all right, I'm praying for you guys and I will see you guys another time. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.